All right, and we're live. 30 fucking goals, you freak. Okay, goals. All right, the plan is okay, we should be okay. Can you hear me well there?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have the goals, like a screenshot of the goals on the screen. That's the goal. So I guess right now, all right, what are we doing? Yeah. So this is the weeklies. This is the first episode of what it looks like. Um, Steven just sent me his goals. You just sent me your goals. I'm not going to speak about you in third person.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So I guess we can start with the last week's goals, which are there right now. That's Steven on his side and then mine on my side. Um, Yeah, you had a fantastic week, man. This is very good. Um, do you want to go through them very quickly?
Yeah, sure thing. So as I mentioned last call, I've been looking for work. It was a little bit tough after school to get in. I was not really prepared for the jobs I've been wanting to do, and now thankfully I have an interesting trajectory. I've help from a very useful mentor, and things are going well. So I had 13 goals for this last week, and one was to review in the style of a particular interview that I was going to have and then execute on that interview. I give myself the gold star there because I did the prep. This was a coding interview. It was a take home proctored coding interview. I've had take home very much more extended, non proctored, and you're allowed to use external resources. But this is, and I've had coding interviews where it's pair coding, where it's like, hey, if you don't know a function call, that's fine. You're working with somebody else and they can be like, hey, I know you didn't know you needed to use dot insert. And so I'm going to just tell you that and we're going to move on. When you have a proctored coding interview, I mean, lots of people in this industry cheat, right? But I don't. And so if I don't know this function call like dot insert and it's like pivotal for this method, then I'm just fucked. So, I failed a lot of these in the past and I give myself the gold star because I prepared for this and I prepared for it in the hopes of preparing for this final round interview that I had on Thursday. And in taking that coding assessment, I passed. That's the first time that's happened, this take home proctored coding interview that I've passed. So this is a big up for me. I came from being an absolute
Hell
shit
yeah.
coder 6 months ago. Yeah.
Hell
So it feels
yeah.
good, man. And you
That's
know how
good.
much of a grind I've been on
Yeah.
to fix these skills.
Yeah,
So
no, and it's showing in the scores. I mean, your scores have been pretty good. Compared to some months, like a month or maybe 2 months ago, where you were not really meeting your own goals. Um, but yeah, why don't you just like very quickly review the rest, and maybe we can spend a bit more time on the X's and the black dots.
yeah, sure, sure. So I had this interview on Thursday, final round quant research internship. So for that, I wanted to go through the Glassdoor and see past questions, review my resume, do well at that, then go through past questions I remember from previous interviews, get ready for that. I did that. I just touched up on some little other things the following day. I put ninth wave mental there because I have this new painting now as my background, the ninth wave, and it feels like where I'm at, where it's in a storm and there's this light, this ship, it's broken, they're hanging on to the mast, but the day is breaking, the storm is over. That's how I feel coming out of these six
Nice.
months. So this auto corrected, it should be Himothy Ascends. Um, it's my alter ego, Himothy, uh, the man that can do everything. And I say, I am inevitable. I give myself the gold star on that
Why?
because my Thursday interview, I've never had such a good interview in my life, Um, like they couldn't stump me. I had every question prepared. There was a guy that has a very lot of experience in finance who also interviewed me 20 years. And he said something that I believed was incorrect. And I was even pushing back on that. And so I felt so that good in my preparation, that I felt good.
And was he incorrect?
Um, he, at least from a mathematical standpoint, yes. Practically, maybe not, but mathematically, yes.
Wow.
So theory and practice can be different, but so that felt kind of good. Unleash the beast. That's just was goals attached to these past
Wait,
goals.
wait, hold on. But why
Yeah.
is what? So we have Timothy ascends. I am inevitable. What?
Timothy.
Timothy, sorry. What's the difference between a check mark and a star there?
Yes. So I gave myself the star on that first thing because I passed that interview, and I gave myself the star here because I've been kind of terrified of these interviews for a long time, and I go into them not feeling great, and I just hope and pray that I don't get a curveball. But I went into this and I knew everything, and then I executed as if I knew everything, and I knew everything that they asked, and so I just have to give it the star.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I believe
So
it. I like
yeah,
it. Yeah.
feels very good, man. So then we have Unleash the Beast. These were just, I wanted to be focused, dedicated, driven, and determined in regard to these above goals. And I think I
Yeah.
was. Read before bed. I did it Sunday night. The other nights I just fell asleep. So I give myself a big X on that. I don't know
Okay.
how much I read, not much, maybe one Lovecraft short story. So, I really had wanted to
Certainly
turn
did.
this into a habit, into a routine. I
Yeah.
think I keep buying new books. I have now, since I've lived here, gone through one book, but my books by my bed are about 10, and I keep buying new books and I don't read them. So to me, even though reading before bed is not important in the scheme of this past week of succeeding in these interviews, it was important for the habit. So even though I do it once, it's just not sufficient. Get an X.
You got to read Puddle.
I got to read Puddle. That's right.
You got to read Puddle.
I know. I started Puddle a while ago, and I haven't returned. It was a bit
Really?
much. Yeah, because reading some other stuff can be kind of chill before bed, but it's so unique that it was cognitively straining, and it was not my bedtime relaxation.
Okay, I'll take that as a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I found myself just basically skim reading almost when I was just trying to relax, and I'm like, this is not how I want to
Yeah.
go through this book. It's so new.
Yeah.
Let me let the
Yeah.
the white space hit. Let me take those necessary pauses instead of just going.
Yeah.
So I had to put it on the side. Now there's more time, so love to do that. Let's see. Take care of physical workout and stretch. Dude, I've been feeling very tight. I have a back injury, 2 shoulders injuries. I need to try to take care of these and to work out. I keep losing weight, so I did that. That was good. No porn, black dot, because largely I didn't want to be doing that right before bed. I wanted to be visualizing success or reading or something like this. I did yesterday. I didn't do it all week. I think that's a black circle worthy. No doom scrolling though.
That's good.
Yeah. Good sleep schedule and get enough sleep. Slept 5 hours the day before the interview. Not great. I woke up at 7, then I woke up at 9, then I woke up at 8, then I woke up at 5. Those 4 days, not great. But the other days I slept enough. I got some sleep, black dot. Actually look at goals and schedule daily. I was scheduling my days in advance, which is the last goal. Hence I get the check mark. But I wouldn't actually look at this shit. I'd schedule it and it'd kind of give me a framework, but I didn't look at it on all the days. I looked at it on some days. So, black dot. So I think the week looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. There's some things I want to address. This sleep schedule has been a problem for me for a very long time. I'm like yet to have a good sleep schedule for many years now. That is something that needs to be taken more seriously. I want to read more too. As I keep doing technical stuff, I'm kind of losing touch with this ideal of Renaissance man and having this enlightened perspective on everything.
Tell me about it. Yeah. I'm beginning to feel that as well.
And it's important too, I think that seeing all the conflicts in the world and thinking about what it means to be human in the face of AI, I think these are things that I want to think about, especially as I'm in a technical field and, maybe perhaps doing my part to bring an end to humanity. I need to really think about what it means to be human, how to preserve it. So the reading before bed is important to me as well. And I think those two out of the ones that I missed are really the ones that I want to tackle in this upcoming week, and they've made another appearance in my goals.
Sure. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I have much to like point out, right? Like it seems like you have had a fantastic week, a nice conclusion to 6 months of repeated attempts and failures, albeit not without successes. Um, I guess the question is now like, well, I want to say this, the sleep schedule, right? It's very easy. I know this is something you've struggled with for years. Um, there is something it's worth mentioning that there is something we consider to be normal. There's the normal, sleep schedule, which is you go to sleep at a normal time, which is I guess between 9 p.m. and midnight, and you wake up at a normal time. So just to say, like, these are all standards established by society, right? In many ways, they might even be based on like the 9 to 5 hour work week, work day. So these are, we can trace it. I'm sure we can trace back the notion of a normal schedule to capitalism, yada, yada, yada. But this is all to say, maybe it's okay to have a little bit of chaos in the sleep schedule. I mean, you clearly had a great week, but obviously, if having a regimented schedule, a consistent schedule is something you want, then yeah, for sure. I think get enough sleep is definitely very important, regardless of anything. Um, yeah, I guess I mean, I would encourage you to look at the goals. It's a black dot, so I'm sure the progress is on the way. But other than that, I mean, I guess the question is whether you're going to use the next week as a little bit of a break, which it seems like you're not. Um, or yeah, just ride the momentum. I mean, um, you're going from, and I guess I'll put now the goals for next week. Sorry. Yeah, it seems like you're going to ride the momentum. You're going from 13 goals to 30 goals. That is big. We can talk about that um, after we talk about my pretty bad week. uh, yeah, I mean, where do I start? I had a big change of plans this week. Um, Huge change of plans. Can you hear me well? Okay, great. Um, Essentially, my life has changed in a very big way by my own doing. And to my credit, I was able to put some plans in motion, and I essentially I arranged my life in a way so that a lot of good things are going to happen. And I'm being private about it because, fuck, it's just not something I can share yet, at least. Um, but I had a plan. I took a risk. I got my U.S. passport. I must have gotten it this week, I believe, in the mail, which is you know, very big change in my life. But anyway, I got my US passport. I decided to take a risk and change my plans for what I'm going to be doing in the next few months, and worked out very well. I arranged for myself a beautiful structure of what I'm supposed to do. So happy about that. But yeah, let's go through it. So this is all to say that big change derailed everything. Um, I'm gonna move out of this place. I'm gonna move somewhere else. Um, and it's all chaos all around me. Like, my clothes are everywhere, boxes everywhere, and I'm very sensitive to that, which is not a good thing. When my surroundings are in chaos, I am in chaos. I fall off the rail. Not an excuse, just a diagnosis. Mega Gym Fitness Week. Um, I definitely worked out. Like today, I was trying to make up for it. I worked out like what, like 3 hours today in total. It was very good, but it wasn't the mega gym fitness week I wanted to have. You know, um, that's been feeling like it's coming off the rails a little bit. So I'm gonna run it back next week. Um, Yeah, and I mean all the dailies, right? The daily stuff, quick and cold showers. I was complacent. I did not wake up before 7:30. The week started well. It just as soon as I changed my plans and I started focusing on like what I have to do to move out and all that stuff, just went to shit. Same thing with the no wanking, masturbation. I mean, I gotta say, man, that's been one of the hardest things to overcome. I think the
There's a
no
pun
pun
in there
intended.
somewhere.
No, I did not mean to. Um, it seems like I always get so fucking close, but I never quite finish the goal. Uh, no, I do finish it. That's the problem.
No, you definitely do overcome. That,
I did not see that one. Holy shit.
yeah.
Yeah, quitting masturbation is really hard to overcome. But yeah, I mean, it is something that I really want to focus on. It's something and I think more than anything, it's about the porn consumption. It's just not healthy. I don't have a religious argument. I don't think porn is inherently bad. I just think the way human brains work, at least my brain, it's not something. I'm not out of control. I'm not like masturbating like all day. It's just once a day, eh, twice. But yeah, it's just something I need to work on because it drains me literally. I like it definitely takes away some sort of energy, some sort of libido. I don't know. It's a dopamine hit, you know. And that goes with the phone stuff. I mean, I have no excuses, man. I've just been complacent. I've just not been caring as much about my self improvement because I'm so focused. I was so focused this week on, you know, my life changing. And that's not a good thing. This is not, again, not a justification. But yeah, it's just like I've been prioritizing sleep, which is a really nice way of saying I've been sleeping in. Um, Not good. Not good. Um, I'm recording the weeklies. Very good. Um, Keeping the phone away, yeah, I need to work on that. And it's interesting because when I'm not on my phone, oh man, it's so nice. You embrace the human mind. Mine is a very overactive mind, and sometimes it gets the best of me, but after a bit, you kind of get used to it. Um, anyway, I called my brothers. I did a lot of social stuff with friends. I had a beautiful time with friends. I said goodbye to a good friend from Yale. I left him at Grand Central. Um, it's this quote by Lenin. This is a little aside. This quote by Lenin where he says something like, and this podcast does not condone or encourage Marxist ideas or communism, but Lenin says there's decades where years happen, and there's years when decades happen, meaning the rate of change of the world. And I think that it kind of also applies to friends. There's people you've known for like 5, 10 years, and you don't really know them. You just know some things, maybe very superficial, but there's people that in a year you become super close, like with over the course of one summer, or like best friends, you know? And this is one of these guys. And, I would really love to have all my closest friends sit in a table and just talk shit about me. Um, so that was good. I said some goodbyes. I helped a friend of mine move. I definitely took it easy in some ways. I guess more than anything with sleeping, but I think that might have been counterproductive with the rest of the goals. I did one thing out of comfort and I gave myself a star because, this thing that I decided to do, this big change, um and I materialized it. I did everything, and in the course of one day I was already set for what I want to do for the next for the rest of the year. So I give myself a star because it I took a risk. I took a risk, and I don't know if it's going to pay off. Only the future will tell. I did not read 2 hours 5 times this week. I did it twice, once or twice. The beard compulsion is, me touching my beard. I'm sure the video has already captured it. It's just something, I don't know if you want to call it stimming. And I say stimming because I have family members who are on the spectrum. Um, I've been told that it seems that I am sometimes. I don't know. But it's something I want to get rid of because it's not nice. Dude, there's times where I will literally stare into nothingness and just touch my beard. Like, you look at me and you're like, yo, this guy is not well.
Dude, this guy has a problem with touching himself, man.
I'm so serious. It's not even an exaggeration, but something to get rid of because I really like my beard and I want to keep it. I bought all my tickets for my trip home. I'm going to be at home with my family, and that's going to be amazing. And I made good progress on my to-do list. I have a lot more progress to go. 8 out of 14, not great. Mediocre at very best. I just didn't care enough. And that's sad. And I think at this point, my level, I'm not going to call it self-loathing. I don't know. Part of me needs a break. Part of me was so focused on the changes that are coming to my life.
Oof.
I'm looking at the goals right now in my phone. Maybe a lack of confidence, a lack of belief in myself. I don't know. I over prioritized comfort and sleeping in. Not good stuff, but I guess, there's ups and downs in our mental state. Um, yeah.
So combined, this
Yeah. No, go ahead.
so combined, we got a 72%, right? And that at the end of the day is the score that matters in
Yeah.
this system. So it's 19.5 out of 27. So we've got some way to go. We discussed some of the things when we were talking about my goals that I can try to fix. I have a few things that are recent and it makes sense that they haven't been addressed. I have a few things that are admittedly quite long-standing and are still not fixed. So for me, I have a mix of things to do, and we can think
Wait,
about.
hold on. Could we talk a bit about what you think about these shortcomings for me, though?
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to get to. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. We have an idea there, but I think it'll be more evident once we get into the goals for next week. But I think looking here, and there's perhaps no need to preface with all of that. Probably could have just jumped right in. I'm wondering what you think of your own shortcomings, because there has to be we have to be somewhat considerate in the operation of our goals and the weekly structure, right? Because I believe when you made these goals, you had no idea that such a monumental change could be coming your way. And when
Yeah.
when one of the biggest changes of the past few years materializes,
Yeah.
um, it's hard to fully keep track of the day to day, week by week things that felt super important. So, I guess before we talk about addressing the shortcomings of this week in particular, I guess I'm just curious, you see your part of this week, of this weekly's program. I mean, is there any point even in really addressing all of the X's here? Or is it a moment where you think that we just have to step back and say, hey, I had a life-changing event this week, and so, the goals that I made on Sunday were not commensurate with the actions that I needed to take. Or on the other hand, is it like, hey, these are still things like just wake up at a certain time, or just do 2 hours of reading, things that maybe I should be able to do regardless of the circumstances. I mean, what's your perspective on this? How do you feel?
Um, I can say, yeah, these are things I could have done regardless of the circumstance, right? These are supposed to be ways of living. These are
Mhm,
not supposed to be ideally, these are things I do, not things like ideally I am the person who does these things, right? It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take a cold shower, quick and cold shower. No, no, no. I'm the guy who takes a quick and cold shower.
mhm.
I am a guy who does this. So identity based change versus action based change. I could argue either way, but if I could really say, I'm tired. I'm tired, and I think knowing that this big change that I'm going to embark upon, knowing that that change is going to require a level of productivity and commitment and sigma-ness that is really high. I guess in my head, I'm like, let me enjoy this then. Let me enjoy this. Let me enjoy being a piece of shit. Um, I think that was part of it. I think ideally, I would have done these things regardless of anything. Like, for example, let's even say, I could have kept the phone away. But it's funny because I've been trying to sell things in my apartment, but then once I'm on the phone, it's so easy to get on and start scrolling or whatever. So but it's still I could have kept the phone away for things I didn't need it. Um, you know, maybe I can forgive the waking up early. Maybe I can forgive the quick and cold showers. Can't really forgive the not 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 having my mega fitness week because that was a goal that I wanted and that was a goal that I could have perfectly achieved as a check mark. The beard compulsion, same thing. So just there, if I if I'm a bit more being forgiving with myself, I could have still gotten one, two, like 2.5 more points. I could have at least still mediocre, could have gotten 10.5. I don't think there's an excuse, man. I think such a shitty score. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and trash myself because that's not gonna be productive. Um, I'm not gonna diminish myself.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited about the changes that are coming, and I know it's gonna require me to operate at an extremely high level. And I have my concerns about that, of course. But I think we talked about this before. I think I've been feeling like, we have the Renaissance ideal and you want to do a lot of things. I think I've successfully managed to do a lot of things, but I feel like lately it's getting to the point where I'm half assing a bunch of things and I'm not full assing anything. So I think the way I'm going to live my life for the next few months, given what I'm going to be doing, it's I'm going to have much less time. That's just the reality. but I think it'll be nice because it'll reshift my priorities. It'll it'll be like I'm playing the game of life in a harder difficulty, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I need that. I think I need that. I need less free time. Not that I spend all my free time doing, you know, useless things, but it'll be nice to make a sacrifice that I've done before for these next few months and really work on myself. I really want to work on myself. Maybe some things will have to take a few steps back, which sad, good. I don't know. Time will tell. But things like I'm not going to have as much time for my stand-up comedy, for my writing, for my music. Um, and that's okay. Um, that's okay. I'll still make time at night. I already have an idea of what my schedule will be looking like, but I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. So I think for this next week, the way I'm looking at it is as a little test drive of my commitment to this change in my life. Like, hey, I'm not starting yet, but while I'm still here in New Haven, while everything around me is kind of in chaos and things are in flux and I'm going to be traveling soon, can I maintain this stuff?
Hmm.
I want to have the mega gym fitness week that I didn't have. I'm going to take my cold showers. Why? Because I feel better when I do it. I'm going to wake up early. I am really tired of, and it's I've said these words before. Hey, I'm tired of masturbating. I'm tired of watching porn. What what's different now? I think what's different is that for me to be successful these next few months in what I'm going to be doing, I need to work on myself. And it's not something that I want to do. It's something that I have to do in order to be successful these next few months. And I think part of that is, keeping the phone away and killing pornography. It's not, I don't want to watch porn. I don't want to. Reading, I can perfectly read 2 hours a day. Kill the beard compulsion. I've done it before. To-do list. One thing I want to do this week is make a little sheet for myself for the rest of the year. Um, where I can see my dailies, what I have to do on the daily, the habits that are good for me, habits that I want to avoid. So, what are my goals, right? Because I have my 2025 sheet right here. I took it off the wall since I'm moving.
Mm.
It's right here. And I have a lot of things here. I have a routine: wake up early, check ins with Steven, prioritize self improvement, master my youth, be him. I won't read all of them, but there's a section for life, there's a section for writing, which I haven't really done too much of. There's a section for comedy, there's a section for music, for fitness, and for education. Um, and again, things are going well. Things are going well. You know what the change in my life is. I say it's a pretty sweet deal.
Hmm.
Things are good. Don't get me wrong. It's just on the local. The universal is good. But the local is what I need to work on.
Isaac, I just want to
I'm blabbering. Sorry.
understand. No, it's fine. That's how we think, right? I just, I mean, I'm just not convinced, man. Like I don't mean to out you, right? But I know a few weeks back, you know, I heard maybe something we didn't have this big impetus, this big life change, but you were disappointed in your scores. You said you wanted to prove, you know, the dedication to the system and so forth, and that it's gonna be different. And each week the goals are largely the same. And it's not like, it's usually difficult for you. I mean, if we averaged my score per week and your score per week over the year that we've done this, like you're definitely beating me by like a good margin. I just know that lately with burnout, the and other things, it's been a little bit tricky. And so I see a goals list this week that's very similar to last week, and I'm just wondering, like, concretely, how can you guarantee, you know, to us right now that you'll be able to commit? Because I know you have the demon in you. You've There are months where I was scoring probably 50 to 70%, right? And you're executing at 85% plus. And I looked at that and I'm just like, God, I'm a piece of shit. I can't execute. And and it was hard for me to get out of that 50 to 70% region. It's like when you've been in there a while, it's genuinely difficult to get out, even if you want to get out, right? It's the same thing with some of these bad habits that we're trying to kill, time on the phone and all that. It's like we know we shouldn't do it, but hey, this time, it's like
Yeah.
if I do it one more time, right? What's the change? Like what's guaranteeing right now that there's going to be the change that you're talking about?
Uh, thinking, what is the guarantee?
I mean, I'm wondering because I'm just looking at this goals. I'm thinking that,
Yeah, and I'm looking at it's been I think the month of April into May have been tough for me.
yeah, I
I'm
think so.
looking at the scores
Yeah.
here.
Isaac, I'm wondering if maybe you should add a 15th goal, which is to get 100%, or a goal of that type. I think that's helped in the past,
All
because I
right.
think there's two perspectives on the goals, right? It's like the goals are guideposts that lead us on our week, or the goals are things that must be achieved during the week. And you don't have another life-changing event coming up this week as far
No,
as
I
I
don't.
know. So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if you can just make that a goal to be a demon at the goals. I got a hella goals and we'll get there later. So I put in there go for 100% this week because with 30
You did.
goals, there's no fucking way I get there, bro, unless I'm actually trying to get there, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that this could be good for you, but I'm open to other ideas that'll kind of get you to that
Yeah, no,
85%
no,
plus.
I like the 100% idea. Um, Immediately I think about like, oh, for example, Tuesday I'm gonna see my comedy friends,
Mhm.
my open mic friends for the last time. And they're gonna come through after the open mic and I'm gonna show them my progress on the documentary, right?
Yeah.
I'll end up going to sleep around 11, maybe later. So is that conducive to waking up at 6 a.m.?
Well, then your goals are not conducive to your week.
Yeah. um, okay, so I'm going to see two people this week. I'm going to see my
Okay.
open mic friends Tuesday, and I'm going to see my good friend on Wednesday
Mhm.
evening. So, how about I say wake up at 6 a.m. 4 times this week?
Sure, that's more reasonable.
That seems reasonable. Okay, this is good. Thank you for this. Okay, look, mega gym fitness week, easy. I can do that.
Mhm.
Quick and cold showers, easy.
Just mental.
Wake up at 6. Let's do it 4 times this week.
Mhm.
Taking account for those 2 times I'll be with my friends saying goodbye. No porn. Okay, no porn. No porn. There's gonna be a time this week where I'm gonna be like, let me just touch my penis. Here's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be weird as fuck. I'm gonna put you as my background for the week on my phone.
I did ask.
I'm so serious.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me take a picture right now. Because every time. Oh, wait, do it again. Okay. Every time I open my phone, I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna see that face. I'm so serious. I'm d- so that's something I can do. Every time I want to do something like be on my phone or masturbate, Steven's watching. No, not gonna do that. Okay. So keep my phone away and no porn. Now reading. Okay. Reading 2 hours a day. I can do that. It's not hard and I enjoy it. I don't like I'm alone these days all day. Here's the thing, like, no, because I'm gonna have to. There's nothing I can tell you right now that'll tell you like I'm gonna do this for sure.
Mhm.
I am gonna do it. I am gonna do it. 5 days this week. I'm gonna read at least 2 hours.
Mhm.
I'll have to take my word for it.
Why
Same with
don't you
the.
just make it? You could just make it again at most 2 hours too. So then sometimes things are difficult because they might drag on more than we want. You know, if you know the second your alarm goes off at 2 hours, or you could technically do like an hour 40, right? Like 4 Pomodoro sessions, and then you're done. I mean, that's not so bad.
What is the Pomodoro session?
Like Pomodoro, like some of my friends at Oxford were like
Oh, I
super
know.
big
I
onto
know.
that. It's a 25/5 thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna leave the 2 hours
Okay.
because I've done it and it's very doable. Keel beard compulsion. It's disgusting. I have my to-do list. It's all there. I made a sub to-do list of all the things I have to do tomorrow.
Hmm.
Like this list has to be done tomorrow, and it will be done tomorrow.
Okay.
I have my habits manifestation sheet. Um, that'll be fun. I'm not worried about that. On the resume, I have a meeting with somebody to work on my resume, so that has to be done. I have to be packed and ready to leave. I have I uh I'll keep this one under wraps. Bidding farewell to Yale and New Haven. That'll just be a matter of walking around, going to places that I like, maybe going out to eat to a place that I like. And this is the big one, maybe. Farewell to. Probably shouldn't say her name. Uh,
Just bleep it
I'll
out.
I'll say, hey, yeah, this is an ex that I had. I won't talk too much about this because I want to talk about your goals. Um, I was very close to sending her a letter. Um, and we've talked about this, and I talked about it with my friend. I think it all comes. Let's be honest, right? In my reality, the way things happened, she made a choice to, I want to say leave me, but to leave my side um, at my lowest point. And that hurt. And it hurt. And as it goes, as a man, all these feelings are coming back to me months later. And there's a part of me that wants her to see me like, hey, look, I turned out okay. Things went well. You could have trusted me and you could have believed me. And all my problems are solved now. But she, for whatever reason, she decided to leave my side. Um, there's a part of me that wants her to see. There's a very immature part of me that wanted to send a letter because I want her to see how well I'm doing, to see what she's missing out on, which is a very immature, stupid impulse. There's another part of me that wanted to keep the candle on, if that makes sense for the future, which is doesn't make sense, because somebody who would leave my side at such a time at this age, we're 20 something now, you know. Another part of me doesn't want to forget her because I have this habit of only remembering the good parts and things, and I got along with her beautifully. It was so fun being with her. Um And a part of me doesn't want to forget that, because the true tragedy of love is when you forget about it. It's not when your heart is broken, it's when you forget. That's the real sad part. Um, and I don't want that to happen. But I spoke to my mom, and we talked it through, and she said that's not a good idea, me sending a letter. So what I want to do is I want to think about that. I want to write a letter. I'm not going to send it, but I'm going to write a letter that articulates everything that I feel. And as I embark upon this new stage of my life, I want to leave things behind for good. As sad as it is, to move on and to embrace new things. So I'll do that. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have 100% week. Let me change the background. And while I do this, why don't you tell me about your week? Because I've been talking a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, sure.
I guess I'll just say that, these reassurances that you give, I think these are good. These are good. I'm poised to believe that they're very doable. And of course, I believe you in this pursuit. So I know that you're one cracked motherfucker, man. So
You've seen me at my best.
yes, of course, man. I mean, you're an inspiration to me. So, you know, um, I know that you're capable, and I'm excited for the chance to see that this week. Um, as for my week, I mean, this is some crazy stuff, man. I don't know if there's never been this many goals in one week for anybody. Oh, wait. Can I say this? It's still super.
Oh,
Hey,
I see. I see. Sorry. Oh, wait.
wait. Okay, I can.
Ah, damn it!
Dear.
It's you cracked it. You're literally shining. I put the brightness down.
Oh my god.
If I'm gonna masturbate, dude, I have to see this. Fuck now, dude.
That's amazing, man. That's actually excellent. Dude, I mean, with 30 goals this week, I might actually have to make you my background as well. I'm gonna have to make something my background to remind me that this is going on.
All right, yeah. I mean, try to give me a fucking speed run here, dude. I mean,
Well, look, here's the thing, right?
yeah. Why such a big week? Why? You've done this before.
I have, and it hasn't been successful.
No.
It's been wildly unsuccessful. So I would say, here's the thing, right? I fly out on the 29th. I'm going back for my graduation.
Oh, you got 11 days. Oh, graduation.
Exactly. And in doing that, I'm leaving this, very beautiful world that I've inhabited for 6 months behind, where I'm at home with family. I don't have to worry about cooking so much or about making money.
Yeah.
I've cooked meals, right? And I've made money, but it's not like a matter of,
Yeah.
well, not life or death, but it's not critically important, right?
You don't
if I don't
have
cook a
yeah,
meal, I get fed.
sure.
If I don't work, I get a house a roof under my head, So, and but more than these almost trivial conveniences, the main thing is that it's just time.
Well, they're
with
not
parents.
trivial. They're not trivial.
No, but I think I'm inaccurate in my speech. I should say relative to what's the biggest thing of consequence, which is the fact that I get to spend time with my parents, right? Which is a true blessing, which is a true blessing. And my mom just flew to the airport, or my dad drove my mom to the airport today. And, so today kind of marked the end in some sense of this setup that we have because it's not me, my dad, my mom.
Is she
Yeah,
moving there?
no, she's just visiting our family in
Oh,
Germany.
okay.
Yeah, and so she'll fly out to London and meet me there for graduation. But it's at least not the three of us at home. Now it's just me and my dad. So already something has fundamentally changed, which is sad, and I'm gonna miss the setup that I have with the family here. It's been very sweet. I don't know if there will be another time in my life where there will be so much time continuously spent with my parents. I know at times I've complained about it. It's like, hey, I don't have my own room. I like sleep on a day bed in the living room. I don't have my friends here. I had you can, us humans can always find a way to complain, I suppose, even in arguably pretty good circumstances. But now it's gone. This week after I took that interview on Thursday, all I did was try to enjoy my time with my family. But it's a little bit too late. You know, now it's gone. Right. So this my mom leaving, forces me to grapple with that. And again, I'll see her in England. It'll be nice, but it won't be what I have here anymore, what I've had here anymore. So this has really catalyzed me to think about the fact that shit, in 11 days, I'm leaving this place. I don't know if I'll be back here. I know I don't have a job, but given how things went and the other prospects that are coming, I'm on a fifth interview with another company. I mean, at some point they'll decide to stop giving me interviews and just give me a job. Um,
They're all in London?
this one's New York, but they asked me if I would consider their London office. So
Wow.
in this
Okay.
third company I'm interviewing for, that I have an interview for on Wednesday, actually, um, that one is an office of my choice, so I can choose a location out of 15. So India, France,
Where would you
US.
choose?
Uh, well, this is a sort of tangent, but my brother and his girlfriend are trying to land in Chicago. They have a Chicago office. If they make it to Chicago, I'll go to Chicago.
Wow.
You know, but
Damn.
otherwise, I'll work in the Cayman Islands. No, I'm just kidding. They don't have an office there, but that would be cool, right? Um, but look, the thing is that I leave here in 11 days, and it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
There's so
tell
many
me
things that
about
I've
it,
wanted to
bro.
do. I've been on this in this blender for so long, and me, I aspire to have this wealth of pursuits, and I think that my range of pursuits has been narrowed down, and I've been very myopic lately. And there's just tons of things that are like floating around that I want to have done
Yeah.
that are location agnostic, and some things that are not location agnostic. So I was just right as soon as my dad drove out with my mom, I just sat down with my journal and I was being sad, and I was thinking about just things, and I was kind of writing down ideas for goals for this week. And then I kind of wrote down all these things, and then I just decided to make them my goals. I have
Mm.
these are all things that I want to do. I mean, if I don't make them goals this week, then I'm relying on me finishing them by Wednesday of next week, you know? So
Mm.
that's sort of a bad idea, I think. And
Yeah.
there's, I have a lot of wants, a lot of desires. I remember one time I went to the forest and journaled about the things that I would like to do at some point, and I came up with 170 different entries. So 30 is not even really, it's just scratching the surface in some sense. But these were the things that came to mind before I actually just went off and just sat at the piano and started composing. And so I thought that let me just include all of these. It might be too much, but better to aim high and miss than aim low and hit.
No, no, no. Aim high and miss by a little bit. Then aim low and hit the target. Okay, I'm gonna go through them and I'll ask you to give me a sentence about some particular ones.
Mhm.
Read, plan England trip. What's clear chaos?
This is
One sentence, just briefly. What does this mean to you?
to take care of tasks that I've needed to do for a while, such as responding to long, unregarded texts and sending letters.
I would type that. Wow. That's much more concrete and articulated than clear chaos.
Mhm.
I get it. And if you can leave clear chaos, that's fine.
Yeah.
It might be better to put something more like, in a way, maybe that's your way of hiding from those things. Because it sounds so much cooler to say clear chaos than respond to important people in my life that I've been that I've been ignoring for a month, you know?
Actually, yeah, clear chaos is literally just about responding to people at this point because I've got. But look, look, it used to be a lot more. It used to be
No, I know.
like it was the to-do list, right? It used to be get the health insurance, get the driver's license. So now it's just respond to people. So it has been narrowed down, but I could probably make that concrete because I've been avoiding that very hard.
Let's see. Outing outing in nature with pops, quality time with dad, local-ish things before I leave. You know, it's interesting. We're both departing. That's interesting. And very close in date as well. Sharpening elbows trajectory.
The name of my program with my mentor is Sharpening Elbows.
Okay. I'll block out his name.
Oh, that's just the name of the author that I need to read.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Clarity on life, path balance. Yeah, give me a little something there. What does that mean?
This is a massive can of worms, something I've been thinking about. Beyond this first or second, the third job that I have, I mean, what the fuck do I want to do with my life? I have maybe four prongs that I want to attack. I've narrowed it down to 4. How can I have to choose something from these 4. Maybe I can get a combination. Maybe there's a way to get all of them. Right now, I'm not really getting on the track for any of them.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel very similar. We'll talk about that next week. Was some sort of creative goal with Aiden? I'm more curious to hear about Aiden.
I can't give this in one sentence, not like my last answer was one sentence. Basically, this motherfucker is really hard to get a hold of. He's been wanting to write a screenplay for a while. We caught catch up talk on Thursday or Friday. I shared with him that page of the short story that I wrote, and he, without knowing the weekly system, he proposed that we have semi-regular or regular. It should be regular check-ins to discuss creative work.
Dude, I mean, we are literally. I think we have something special here because first your dad, now I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I think this is good.
It's crazy. Yeah, so basically now we'll have a call every 2 weeks where I send him and he sends me something that we've worked on over these past 2 weeks. So maybe a song or a poem or a page or 2 of a short story or a screenplay or something. We then critique that and kind of discuss how to continue from there for the next 2 weeks.
That's fucking sick, dude. I think that's gonna be the nanoseconds podcast.
Yeah.
When we break up. Yeah. No. That sounds amazing. Actually, that sounds so cool. Concretize these goals. Yeah, I agree. 100% this week. Okay, we both have that goal. So look, we got to have a 45 out of 45. That's big. That's no small thing. We're good on the recording, on the meeting, right?
Yeah, so far so good.
Great.
Yeah, that's it.
Plan days out in advance. And I just want to say very briefly, I realized we have not been doing this super, like in terms of putting the goals, we haven't been super conducive. The way we've been doing it is not conducive for people that might just want to listen. So for the next one, what we'll do is we'll read out our past goals and our new goals so that people who are listening can get a sense of it. I'm just going to read out the Steven's new goals, the ones that seem vague or unclear. What is this chess versus self?
Sometimes I like playing chess games against myself. It's been a thing I've wanted to do again for a while. I haven't done it since December of last year. So
Nice, I like it. That is, I've done that before, but it's been a while since I'm into chess. Decide if I want a game.
yeah, I am considering either playing a game that my mentor has recommended to me, a video game, or restarting and trying to run through Dark Souls 3. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should do that, because if I do that, I need to finish the game in 11 days. And that more generally fits in with the goal below it, generally how to allocate my time. Like, what do I actually want to do? Do I want to take some actual like chill kind of semi-rotting time and just like play some video games and hang out, or do I want to use this to like read all the books I didn't read, write all the poems I didn't write?
Yeah.
So I need to think about that a little bit more.
Yeah. Understand Ukraine war, right? That's great. How to piano, schedule meet up with Mike. Is that your mentor?
Yeah.
We can do first aim. That's fine. Is this your final list?
I guess. I think so.
Okay. Well, you don't sound very certain.
I mean, you talked about making some edits. I can change.
No. I mean, like in terms of number.
Hey, I don't really want to go above 30. So I think.
No. I'm not saying put more. I'm saying because if this is good, this is good. I just want to make sure you're comfortable, you're happy with this list.
Maybe there should be a 31st about.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think I'm good.
Okay, you're good. I guess we're arriving. We're at the passing the 1 hour mark. I mean, I'm not in a well. I do need to get up early tomorrow. You had a great week. It was 13 goals. Now, some of these new goals some of them are, let's say, they're not going to require particular effort. Like outing in nature with your dad. Quality time with dad. That's not going to like. But yeah, how are you going to go for the 100%? Because it wasn't 100% last week.
Yeah, that's true. I think the key here, is that there needs to be advanced planning. I think I haven't actually got into it, but I have the goals that I thought up are all down here, and I've put out the next 2 weeks and days here. And I think I need to slot each of these goals into some sort of day to make sure it actually gets attacked, and kind of roughly plan the week out in advance. Now, I haven't done it yet, and I don't know, I could do it before I go to bed. There's a little bit of mixiness in the air, because if I hear back on Monday or Tuesday that I got the job, my week is going to, I think my mentality for the week is going to be very different than if I get rejected or if I don't hear, back. So, this plays a role. If you think it's most advisable, I could schedule my week out still today. And if things change, they change, but at least I have a baseline. Or I could wait, plan each day out singularly in advance and wait until.
I would say two things, like, don't get super bogged down on the details, on the nitty gritty. Like, don't spend too much time planning everything out.
Mhm.
You can only plan so much. Um, but yeah, I mean, if these are all things you want to accomplish, yeah, spend some time, but don't overcomplicate it, right? Don't overcomplicate yourself. Some of these things need not be complicated, you know. Um, so I would say that the other thing I would say is, still, like, I have a reason to get 100%. Like, I have a fire under my ass. You know, my knees have buckled under the weight of my own self disappointment. You are doing great. So this is to say, like, the only thing I'd be worried about, and not for any lack of confidence in you, but what's your fire? If you did so well, yeah.
Mhm. Let's see. Okay. Read if I do a little bit before bed. Let's see, achievable. Well, this is. I was going to look first at how doable are the goals, but actually that should be kind of irrelevant. It should not depend on the extent of the
No, I'm
fire.
asking
So
again, with what confidence are you putting 100% in 30 goals? Like, what's going to push you?
I have a difficult relationship with the past, I would say. I think I'm very prone to viewing the past through somewhat of a negative lens, even if it was objectively good. Uh, could have a crazy time in some foreign land during some sort of Chandler year, and then still look back and think, "Oh, this was a mistake," even though the opportunity is excellent. You know, I'd like to, to the best of my ability, uh, prevent there from being a possibility of looking back on these 6 months and thinking about how I failed to do some of the things that I needed to do. You know, I think, yes, I would have, now that, my mom's gone, I would have loved to spend more time with her. Now that it's already May, I would have loved to, maybe have a composition done or something published on Spotify. It's okay. I mean, when we look back and I actually am fair to myself, the progress that I made along the job prep was, tremendous. My parents and I still got plenty of expeditions, and it's not like I didn't do any composing. I mean, beats and logic. I started that piece that I shared with you. I've written poetry and all that. I can be unfair to myself, but these are some things that a lot of these are like cleaning out the closet, things that have been hanging over me for months.
Yeah.
Maybe for a good reason, maybe for bad reason.
I think
Not
that
responding to people.
2025 goals.
Yeah, 2025
Yeah,
goals.
but
I mean,
here, yeah.
how long have I been wanting to make my goals? It's May. I'm almost halfway through 2025. I haven't made my 2025 goal. But these can essentially be, that the 2025 goals will be a little bit transformed. It'll be like goals for the next stage of my life or something. I don't know
Yeah.
at this point. But this is clearing out the closet. If these things didn't happen the whole time I'm here and I leave, I think it would be disappointing. I think to avoid that disappointment and to kind of know that while I was here, I made good use of my time and achieved anything that I'd objectively wanted. Because I mentioned that list of 170 things earlier. Not all of them are realistic. Like for right now, like some are like own bees. I can't like do that here, right? Fuck off, mate. But these 30 things, these are the things that popped up. If I can take care of everything that I needed to do before I go, then I will be very content with my time here. There's my fire.
I like it. Yeah, we both have we both have a fire of different provenance, but it'll lead us in the same direction, it seems. I'm hesitant to promise you that I'm gonna get 100% because there's a lack of self-belief.
Mm.
But fuck it. Steven, I promise you, I'm going to get 100%. I promise you.
Looking forward to seeing that, man.
Yes, sir.
Then it's already done. It's been done before the week has started then.
Yo, okay, so to end this, what do we want to name this episode? One word.
I am transitioning
Okay, all right.
to a new stage of my life.
I am transitioning ... No, one word.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
What?
100%.
Yeah. I like that. I like that.
You like it? Okay. All right. Time to end the recording. Oh, it didn't record at all. Let's fucking hope so. All right, signing out. We'll be more audio friendly next time.